This is Mark Rosenwasser. I will be chairing this morning's meeting. Commissioner Overman is unavailable, so I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Natasha, could you please do a roll call?
Rosenwasser,
Present.
Myers,
Here.
Abel,
Here.
Jackson Sims,
Present.
Combs, Sarah Combs, David Hollis,
Present.
Councilman Goods.
Present.
Okay, and we do have an excused absence for Commissioner Mathis for City of Plant City, as well as Cody Powell. They both indicated that they would be absent for the meeting today, and Commissioner Overman.
Okay, so do we have a quorum?
We do not have a quorum.
And that means we certainly don't have a quorum in person, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And
Thank you all.
For the record, Mr. Rosenwasser, Cheryl Howell, Affordable Housing Director, here, and is
Yes,
Nancy
ma'am.
Takamura here as well?
Okay, I assumed both of you were there. I understand from Natasha that we have no public comments. Is that correct?
Correct. We do not have any public comment for this meeting.
Okay, so I don't need to read the entire public comment section. Since we do not have a quorum, we will have to defer the approval of the minutes of the meetings from November 8th and January 10th until the next meeting, when hopefully we will have a quorum. As far as the chair's report, Commissioner Overman did not share a report with me. Ms. Howell, is there somebody on staff who can give a legislative update, or do you want to include that under your report?
I can bring a legislative update to you. We were hoping to have Mr. Glazer here from Florida Housing Coalition, but he was not able to join us this morning. So the really hot item that is on in queue right now is the abolishment of the sale funds. And, you know, so last year, the legislators got together and they sort of kind of made this deal to support the Sadowski Act, and 50% were going to sustainability type programs, and the other 50% of the funds were going to go to housing activities, which included sales. And so this year, I want to say the House has supported $268 million in SHIP and $75 million for sale, and but nothing for sale. I'm sorry, but the Senate supported $280 million for SHIP and $75 million for sale. With the abolishment of the sale funds, we'll see our 4% tax credit deals decimated.
Wow.
And what that means for us, typically in a year, it could mean 150 to 200 affordable housing units in the run of 1 year. And so, you know, we need the support of our senators and our legislators to reinforce the sale funds. We need those funds. Without the sale funds, the beautiful development that's going on out there in the university area right now would not be occurring. There are many sale funds that support projects that don't go through our HFA, they go through the state's HFA. But without those funds, they decimate affordable housing, not just in the Hillsborough County community, but all over. And so we desperately need those sale funds, and we are hoping that there'll be a change of heart or a change of mind. It's my understanding that that the that the House chair has some philosophical differences with housing, not really understanding that with housing, if there is $350 million in housing funds, what that turns into is more than $2.1 trillion, $2.1 billion, I apologize, $2.1 billion in economic impact and activity for our particular neighborhood. So this is something that is a dire need. You know, with a housing crisis right now, we are in desperate need of additional affordable housing units. And I don't know how they could survive not supporting the sale funds. And so this is something that's going on right now. I am hearing from people in Tallahassee, from our Affordable Housing Association, from our developers, and as a board, as an Affordable Housing Advisory Board, I thought it important to bring you this very important news. And so, as I said again, just to sum up, the House has supported $268 million in SHIP funding, but no sale. The Senate, however, has supported $280 million in SHIP funding and $75 million in sale. So it's our House that we really need to work on to support this. That is it for the legislative update.
What can we, as AHAB board members, do to make our voice heard in Tallahassee?
We can reach out and contact our House representatives, you know, letting them know that, you know, affordable housing is good for everyone. It's good for business. It's good for affordable housing development is a form of economic development. So reach out, regardless of your political party. People in either party need support. People are suffering right now, and this should not be a partisan issue. That they need support. We need more affordable housing. Period.
Is there regardless of the party, is there? Can you identify maybe via an email those people those legislators to whom it would be best to connect with and share the message?
Yes, what we can do is we can pull up both the Senate and the House legislators in our district and send it out to you.
That would be wonderful.
Pull all of them up.
That would be wonderful, and I would ask all of those who are on this call or attending this meeting virtually or in person that you take some time to contact in writing, via fax, or by phone, the legislator's office, and share the message as to the importance of funding both the SHIP and the sale housing in both the Senate and the House, because of not only the economic impact, but just the affordable housing crisis that we have all been talking about for quite a while, and it's only getting worse. So we really need to do something.
Great.
Anything else, Ms. Howell?
No, sir. No, sir. Nothing else from me.
Okay. That's enough of you. Well, we're going to move right on to your report. How's that?
Okay, great. We Cheryl Hall, Affordable Housing Director, and we want to talk just a little bit about our rental and mortgage assistance program. As our ERAP program kind of sunsetted last month, there are many people out in the community that don't realize that we still have rental and mortgage assistance available for families that live in unincorporated Hillsborough County, Plant City, and Temple Terrace. We are using some of our federal CDBG CV funds to be able to support this activity. We have two of our providers here this morning. We have Ms. Sylvia Alvarez from Housing and Education Alliance, and I want to check and find out, is Ms. Alvarez on the line?
Yes, good morning, Cheryl, and thank you for that report. We all need to do our part to make sure that we're letting our elected officials know. And yes, I am on the call, and we've had some really good success with this program. I believe we've had like over 500 applicants. Close to 100 are approved, the rest are in process. And the calls that we're getting and the people that we're speaking to, it really breaks your heart. There is a lot of pain and suffering out there, and we're glad to be able to offer some relief to our residents.
For those of us on the call, Ms. Alvarez, can you provide us with some contact information that we can share?
Sure.
So that
Well, my email address is salvarez@heausa.org. However, you can refer clients to our website. There's a big red button there that actually, this is where they start the process. And our web address is www.heausa.org.
www.heausa.org.
Correct.
Okay, and you were saying that, or Ms. Howell was saying that there's still REAC monies available for unincorporated Hillsborough, for Temple Terrace, and for, what was the other location?
Plant City.
Plant City.
And Plant City. Okay.
Right.
Because
Unfortunately, there was a news article that came out that said that there was no more money. However, I think that was other departments, and there's still money left in our contract and with the county.
Mhm. Now, Ms. Sylvia, could you just share a little bit for those who might be watching this meeting? Could you just share a little bit about the process? So, if I'm behind in my mortgage payment and I call HEA, could you share from that point on what a caller or a potential participant would expect to receive in terms of the process?
Well, we're really on top of it, and we try to get back to them immediately because we know that they're stressing. They may be losing the roof over their head within the next few days. But so they start there, they register there. Once they register, then we send them the list of documents that we need, as well as what they need to sign. We can move as fast as they move. Our process is seamless. We're really making a huge difference, but it's really very simple. We tried to simplify the process by making it accessible on our website, the registration, then we follow up immediately within 24 hours with the paperwork that they need to provide. Once we get that, we have a three-part process. We have three sets of eyes looking at the applicants or the applications just to make sure that they are qualified. Then at that point, we send it to the finance person who is actually writing the checks. And then we send them out. We've even had to hand deliver a couple checks to avoid someone being without a roof. The stories are compelling. They're very sad. There's still a lot of suffering going on out there. I worry about what happens after this. I know we're giving them a Band-Aid, to help the immediate situation, and hopefully they can figure out a way to get some income. So that's basically it. We've got a very seamless process going on.
Great, great. And what
What about,
amount of assistance that they could receive?
Well, they can get 3 months worth of assistance for rent or mortgage being delinquent. And there's no remedy for any delinquent utilities, but we are able to give them 3 months worth of back rent or mortgage payments.
Great, great, great.
Ms. Alvarez, if I may ask, for those folks who, let's say, don't have access to be able to return those documents via scan or whatever it may be, what is the best way for them to do that?
Well, if they cannot actually, if they don't have a way to scan or do this electronically, we are housed in Career Source, and they have a huge resource room where they can actually come in to do that. Or we have a drop box in the lobby of Career Source where they could actually bring their documents. And I have to also give kudos to Mike Roberts. He's not on the call right now, but he's really on top of this. The man gets up at 4 in the morning to start responding to these applicants. And there've been a lot of great comments from these people that we've been able to help in Google.
That's wonderful,
Great.
and certainly if they can speak to whoever answers their phone and answers their call, and you can share that information with them.
Right, and he answers every call, and he's the one he's really taken over and taken ownership of this program. So we're thankful that we've got this seamless process in place that's helping so many of our citizens.
Okay, thank you.
There you hear it.
Ms.
There you hear it, everyone. We have Miss Sylvia Alvarez from the Housing and Education Alliance on the line, and she has shared with you some wonderful information. You can get up to 3 months of assistance, up to $7,500 for rent or mortgage assistance. Rent or mortgage assistance. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them at 813-932-4663. That's 813-932-4663. Or you can reach them on their website at www.heausa.org. Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Alvarez, for coming and sharing with our AHAB committee members this morning, and for those who are out there watching. Are there any questions from our AHAB members, or any comments from our AHAB members?
Cheryl, thank you. It's been a privilege to work this program and help our citizens.
Thank you, Sylvia, for all that you do. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, and we had one more organization that was on on the agenda this morning. Is Ms. Detra Smith here with
Cheryl,
R.E.A.H. and Natasha?
she's trying to join right now.
Okay. Okay, and while Miss Smith is trying to join, I want to just share with you that we had a number of county commissioner agenda items that went through this past month. We have been extremely busy trying to take care of the business of affordable housing. Are there any comments or questions on the agenda items that have gone forth? AHAB members?
It's nice to see that they're somewhat written in plain English, so those of us who are not legislatively oriented can understand them. But there certainly is a volume of them, and they are for those who are on the AHAB board. Copies of them are included in your packet.
Yes. Okay, has Ms. Detra gotten online yet?
She's still trying to join. She's trying to connect.
Okay, we'll give her just a second here. Okay, and while we're waiting on on Ms. Detra to join us, I want to just move right along, if you will, and we're going to go to our affordable housing report. We've been extremely busy, as I stated. The compliance team is completing all of the desk audits for really all of our programs, our public facilities, public services, and for our multifamily program. For those of you who are not aware, this is our RFP season, and so we want to make sure that all of those audits are completed prior to going into to RFP. We have 11 new public service and rental and mortgage agreements that's been added for 2022. We are looking at adding some additional public facility projects as we move a little further in the year. Currently, there are 25 active projects being managed by the contracts team alone, and the contracts team alone manages our public facility projects. On our for our Hillsborough County Affordable Housing Services Board, just take a look here at our COVID-19 funding in the HEA rent and mortgage assistance program was funded out of the CDBG CV funds that we received from our COVID-19 funding. Is Ms. Detra on the line yet?
We are not seeing.
She's apparently having some difficulty getting in.
Okay. Well, I've taken you through our Affordable Housing Services report. Are there any questions or comments about our Affordable Housing Services report? Okay, let us move on to our federal, state, and local grant updates. It appears that that we are going to be fully funded through our SHIP funds this year. And so, as I stated earlier, we desperately need those sale funds to create more rental housing for our families that's in need. We are also looking at a I want to say receiving the same amount of federal funding that we received previously. We are not anticipating an uptick in federal funding. And for those out there listening, our federal funding would include our CDBG, our ESG, and our home funding. So we are not looking at receiving an uptick, not at this time. We are keeping our ear to the ground though for the Build Back Better, hoping to see some traction on that. And so if we see some traction on that, we may receive additional funding through the affordable housing pipeline. Are there any questions on federal, state, and local grant updates? Yes, sir. Mr. Rosenwasser?
No, I was going to say that it would be wonderful if Washington could kind of start talking to each other, to folks up there, and get the Build Back Better moving and things like that.
Right. So we're keeping our eye out on the Build Back Better and those grant updates. I do want to share with the AHAB board though that we received an additional $1.2 million of disaster funding from the state. And so with that $1.2 million, we were awarded those funds to help strengthen the All People's Park facility. So when disasters occur, that station is strengthened and that they'll have additional accesses for people who are physically challenged and unable to navigate through some of the other sites. So that was a huge win for Hillsborough County, and we are awaiting the outcome of another award. So we're hoping to be able to receive an additional $2.1 million for the acquisition of a small motel for affordable housing as well. So we should hear back from that within the next 60 to 90 days. So we are waiting patiently on that. So I just want to thank the team for everything that they've done and for all their hard work as well. Did Ms.
Okay.
Detra make it online?
Ms. Howard, she's having some technical difficulties joining the line, so I sent her a new link to see if she's able to join, but she was trying to dial in and was having some technical difficulties.
That's okay. We just want to thank both of our providers for the vast amount of work that they're doing out in the community. As a matter of fact, we have 3 providers. We have R.E.A.C.H, we have HEA, and we also have Palm River CDC that's providing the same amount of services, just on a smaller scale. But I just want to reach back out to my AHAB members again to find out if there are any questions, any concerns, any comments on any of these activities or anything that we're doing.
Does anybody have any questions of Ms. Howell?
Yes, good morning. Sarah Combs, just if we could get an update on the land trust, that would be super great.
Okay, we're still working on the land trust. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your question. We are still working on the land trust. We were hoping to get an updated I want to say it is it's the CLT bylaws. We were hoping to get that on Friday. We haven't received it yet, so we're hoping to have it back up to us so that we can review it and send it out to the attorney to review as well before we move forward. So that's where we are right now. Sarah, we're hoping to bring something back to the board by the last meeting in March. And if we can't get it by the last meeting in March, at the latest, the first meeting in April. So we are working on that, and we want to get it back to you as soon as possible.
And Cheryl, just to refresh my memory, is the Florida Housing Coalition, are they the ones that got the contract? Is that correct? And helping guide us through the process?
That is correct. Okay. So Florida Housing Coalition is, they laid the groundwork for CLTs throughout Florida, and they are working closely with us on this contract. We didn't just want a standard CLT set up for Hillsborough County. We wanted one really designed to help meet the pressing needs of Hillsborough County, looking at all of our different service providers, who's providing single family, multifamily, and really trying to create a provider that will support the gaps in our services.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that Sarah spoke out. Sarah, could you? We were having a crisis per se with one of our naturally occurring affordable housing developments out close near to the university area CDC. Would you like to share a little bit about what happened in that process with Holly Court?
Sure, yeah. So University Area CDC has been working in the space of trying to bring adequate sewer and water to the university area community. And one of the things that we found out about in 2017 was an apartment across the street from Harvest Hope Park called Holly Court. And it was from the mothers that lived in that community that let us know of the water quality there. There was a well that was not being serviced, and so unfortunately it was causing really some serious issues to the water for those residents, and so the mothers couldn't bathe their children. They were getting ringworm and UTIs and a bunch of challenges. And so that really led us to kind of dig into the community and start talking to the community about other challenges. And we realized that it was at that point that we realized a lot of our community doesn't have access to the city sewer or water. And it really is directly correlated to the social determinants of health in our community. So it was at that point that we started partnering with Hillsborough County and the city to really understand the scope of the problem. So I say that to say that Holly Court has been a challenge since 2017, and the challenge that we're finding, and it's not uncommon to other communities, is that, you know, whenever a property is owned, it's not kept up well, and it's very, very difficult to be able to get the owners to make improvements to that property. Holly Court specifically has changed ownership in the last 6 years 5 times. And so as we were trying to work with those owners every single year, we get to the point where we thought we had them, and then they'd sell the property, and then we'd have to start all over again. And so what happened with Holly Court was new ownership came in, and they purchased the property. They've had it for probably 3 to 4 months, and we've been talking to them about it. So anytime we have an opportunity with the new owner, we talk to them, we have a conversation. Unfortunately, they weren't aware of the conditions, how bad the conditions were, their wells. And unfortunately, one of the wells collapsed, basically. And that posed a huge hardship for the residents in that community. So it affected about 20 apartments there. And so it was really, we thought a health emergency, just because tenants weren't able to get healthy and clean water. I mean, they weren't able to drink it, they weren't able to bathe in it. Landlords put out information regarding that they had to leave, obviously, because they couldn't use the water. And then there was a lot of challenges around the media and different groups coming in and talking about them getting evicted. And so that's really when we stepped in, and we created some opportunities for residents to have some conversations with us to learn about each and every one of their situations, because everyone's was different. We worked with the county and the city, which we're so incredibly thankful for the support of the county. And we were able to place those residents in temporary housing, all of them that wanted it, that wanted to work with us, while we get that well fixed. And, you know, this well is not uncommon, like I said, in the community, but the challenge is it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 months to pull the permits and to be able to get this apartment hooked onto city water. And I don't know how, but the city and the county came together and they expedited the permitting. They saw that it really was a public health crisis. And we're able to work with the owners to get this done in the matter of, I'm hoping that it's going to be 1 to 2 months. And so the other thing that we were able to do is talk with those owners and leverage that to say, hey, as these residents are getting displaced, we're providing them temporary housing. Are they able to come back? And not just are they able to come back because they don't have leases, because again, it's new ownership, but are they able to come back at the rent they were paying? Because what we're seeing in the community is residents are getting non-renewal leases, or they're getting non-renewal because their lease is expired. They're leaving, and then the landlord takes the opportunity to increase the rent, $300-400 more a month. And so this is how we came into the picture to be able to leverage that, talk with the owners, figure out how we could get those residents back into the community and not raise the rent. So it was a very, very challenging situation. Everyone's story was different, but that's where, obviously the power of our residents and the services that we're providing was really, really crucially important. And again, our partners, we relied on our partners and really asked them for to go above and beyond. We really did. We asked them to go above and beyond because it was a public health issue, and we just want to thank the county and the city for their support in doing so, and we'll continue to work with those residents to ensure that they get back. If they don't want to come back to Holly Court, we'll try to find them another place, but as you know, it is very difficult out there right now in securing safe housing. So that is my update.
And if I may interrupt, Holly Court has a long-standing issue relative to providing not only quality drinking water, but quality housing. Now, probably 10 years ago, my company was asked to manage that property, and when we went on site, and it was owned by some physicians at the time. When we went on site, we said, well, you're going to take care of these things, and when we shared the budgets with them, they kind of said, no, you know, we'll just deal with what we can. And as somebody involved in the affordable housing business, I can confirm that what you said is absolutely true. Holly Court has probably sold or flipped ownership, I don't know, half a dozen times in the last 10 years. In fact, I think it, as you said, it just sold 3 or 4 months ago. So is there any chance of I know I've done this before at another property, we've actually lined up trucks filled with potable water and hooked it into the system so that the residents had fresh water.
Yeah, Mark, I think at this point, all of the residents that were willing to work with us and wanted our help, we've been able to relocate them. So
Great.
The well was so far beyond that we felt that it was really important to get them out somewhere where they could be healthy and well and safe as the owners
great.
worked on the apartment and worked on getting access to clean, healthy, fresh water and connecting to the city. So that could have been an option if we didn't have any other options. But again, thankful to the county and the city for coming in and helping us be able to manage this really, really delicate situation. That was it was tough. It was tough to have 20 families not be able to know where they were going to live and be confused about where they go to get help. And so while it was a very challenging situation, again, the partners came to the table and were able to really help us to be able to meet people where they are and figure out how we can serve them in the best way that we can do so. And that was with really relocating them for the time being, and then giving them the option, right? Giving them the option if they want to come back to Holly Court, or we can work with them and placing them somewhere else. And then the other piece is the rent, right? Because the owners don't have to do that. They didn't have to keep the rent the same and not raise it $300, $400. So that for us is a good omen. And so we're trying to create more relationships with landlords in the community where it can be mutually beneficial, and we can try to keep some rent control in affordable housing, because that's the real challenge. Is the rent is just it's gone insane, and families can't afford it. They just can't afford it. So as many affordable complexes as we can work with, we're willing to do so, and we're trying to get creative in terms of making it mutually beneficial so they want to work with us.
Great.
Well,
I just want to say thank you to
wonderful.
Sarah and her team, Mark. When we reached out to them, Sarah responded. Her people were already on top of it and very willing. And I want to publicly say that our county administrator brought all of her department heads together so that we could work on it. George Cassidy, Felicia Crosby Rucker, they were some of the forerunners in this, and we were cobbling together funding in the background, trying to see how we could help support this in a viable way. The county administration has put aside CARES funding to help with that connection. For the water, we leveraged all of our relationships out in the community so that we could get this done as soon as possible. But I did want to give a public shout out to Sarah and her team. I was calling her as she was on her way up to the Capitol on a bus with all of her youth. So thank you, Sarah, for your response. Your team was on it, and that's the kind of teamwork that we need to make the difference for the residents in this county. And so there is funding for to help them with displacement. And I was truly encouraged to hear that they would be able to go back into those units with the same rent. So just incredible to be able to preserve those units during this time and this era. So great work by all the members in the community. I want to say we had our code enforcement person involved, just everybody just did a phenomenal job working around the clock to try to make sure that we service this particular crisis. So thank you so much.
Yes, Ms. Howell,
Questions? Yes,
want
sir.
to let you know, we manage a number of affordable housing communities which are owned by folks from out of state, and they sometimes don't understand that the affordable housing crisis that we have in the state of Florida, and in particular because of where we are, the Tampa Bay area, and they think that they can just bump the rents $300, $400, $500, as Sarah was saying, because that's what they're getting up north, and we try to explain to them that that's just not the way. That's not a good public service, and part of owning real estate is you're making your money on the increased valuation, but as part of that, you have to be understanding and do a public service by keeping the rent increases so that people can continue to have a roof over their head and be safe and have good quality water and all of the other things that affordable housing does.
Great, great. Mr. Rosenwasser, we have R.E.A.C.H on the line now. Are they still
Oh,
available,
wonderful.
Ms. Natasha?
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Detra, are you on the line now?
Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
Hey, welcome,
morning.
Detra. Glad you were able to get through.
Yes, thank you.
Hal, do you want to
Yes.
speak with?
Yes, and so we have R.E.A.C.H on the line. R.E.A.C.H has been one of our most productive vendors in the rental and mortgage assistance space, and they have been, they help distribute some of our CRF funds. Those funds came from the state of Florida, and we were able to expend all of those funds. They've been helping to expend some of the CDBG-CV funds because, as you well know, the ERAP funding helped out with rental assistance, but there was no assistance for mortgage assistance in this process. And so we created a fund that would, or services that would help those families that were in need of mortgage, but also could use it as rental assistance as well in case we ran out of ERAP funding, which we did. And so we have R.E.A.C.H here, we have Ms. Detra here, and without going on any further, Detra, could you share a little bit about the R.E.A.C.H program, your impact in the community, and more specifically, how citizens can get assistance through your program?
I'm from Tennessee, so if I go in and out, let me know, and I'll try to oblige. So R.E.A.C.H has been in existence for 15 years, and like Cheryl said, we participate in the CDBG-CV funds. We've serviced probably about 243 just with this round that we're currently in for rental and mortgage. We're seeing, unless they're in rental, because like you said, their leases are expired. People's rent are going up. I mean, we've seen it as high as $800, which is ridiculous. And so the mortgage ones is really where I would like to see more because there's a lot of rental assistance going on right now, but the mortgagers, the mortgage holders are just not, there's not much assistance. So I'm glad that the county did rental and mortgage there. But I mean, just more funds for the gap of the rental, which is what you guys were talking about when I came on, to alleviate, that to help out with that cushion, so that they can stay in their houses and stay, the tenants or in the rental outfit that I'm speaking of. So that's just what I would like to see. Participants have to do, go through the application process and of course meet the eligibility criteria and so forth set forth by the counties. But it's great. The funds are great, but I would like to see, like I said, the gap, to cover the gap, to be able to keep these people in their homes, and then possibly more mortgage assistance there as well.
Now, Detra, if someone reaches out to R.E.A.C.H to get assistance, how would they go about the process of receiving that assistance? Could you share with the AHAB board and with those that are listening?
Sure. Currently, we set up a form online, so that would be the first step. So that way we can, well, let me back up. The first round we did, it was such an influx. Everything came in at once. People, were fretting and didn't know where to turn. So we set up an application online. So what they do is when they visit our website, they simply put in their name, email, basic contact information. That comes directly to me, where I would screen the address to assure that they would be eligible. First of all, the property is eligible. Once that is determined, then I send them the application with strict instructions. They're able to upload all of their documents because we want to make sure we protect the privacy of the clients, of the applicants. So they upload it into our secure Dropbox on our web. That again comes to our counselors. We pull them off daily. They get an email saying we've received it. Please allow 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes it's shorter, and then we review from that point and determine eligibility and approval, denials, etc.
So you're saying it typically takes 2 to 3 weeks. What if a resident is in need of assistance before that 2 to 3 week period? What kind of steps do you take?
So we say in the email 2 to 3 weeks, but we definitely, we realize some of them have already received that 3-day notice or so forth. So we review them, like I said, daily to get them out as soon as possible. And then we send, once we make contact with the client, we send the award letter. And if need be, I have reached out to property managers or landlords or community, the residents, the officers say approved. We just need, time to submit that check and allow for mail process. And usually it's very effective because with the eviction notices going out, we want to, make sure they'll accept the payment because we have come across that as well. Some of these landlords won't accept the payment if an eviction has been filed. So we've had, we don't want checks being returned, but so we say 2 to 3 weeks, but typically I can get something done. Like if I receive it Monday, today, or tomorrow, I could probably get a check cut Friday. Granted, the applicant has all the documents and, and so forth, but we definitely make contact with the landlords to assure that no one is put out or evicted.
Great. Thank you so much.
If I may ask, Ms. Howell, Detra, if the landlord won't accept, is hell-bent on evicting this resident in order to get somebody who will pay more, are you able to deposit the rent monies with the registry of the court so that the judge or magistrate will see that there has been a effort on behalf of the tenant to get that paid to stop that eviction process?
We're not sure because we haven't come across that yet, and I'll say that because in the beginning of this, they were just putting evictions just to, I hate to say it, but just to scare these people or the tactics. That's my personal opinion. So we haven't come across that, but that's a great idea. I don't know how that would affect, how Cheryl would have to tell me how we could do that, but yeah, that's a great idea.
And Mr. Rosenwasser, we have some flexibility with some of our state funds and some of the E.R.A.C.H funding that comes through. We don't have the same flexibility with CDBG funding, and so it's a lot stricter in how we have to manage and utilize those funds. So, but we may be able to use another funding source as we move forward, and we we currently have.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay.
I want to say, Councilman Goods, Mr. Rosenwasser, I want to say I hear Councilman Goods.
That's correct.
I thought I heard him as well. Councilman?
Can you hear me? Yes,
Yes, sir.
Cheryl, I was in our agenda last week. in reference to, we had, we're supposed to have a TLC consultation in reference to city. We were asked to hold off because apparently they're going to be working with you or have a meeting in reference to the county TLC to partner. Are you familiar? Have you heard of that?
I'm not familiar with what TLC is, sir.
Okay, the land trust. Apparently the land trust.
Oh, the
You
CLT, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
there,
understand?
yes, I have heard back from, someone from the city, requesting a meeting, for CLT, and so we've not had that meeting yet. I want to say that we have scheduled a meeting.
Okay, I just want to check with that. They brought that to me last week when we had asked for information in reference to moving forward, and they asked us to hold off because they were meeting with you as some kind of maybe partnership in reference to this whole land trust situation the city and the county is trying to do. So I was just checking to see had that meeting occurred yet.
Yeah, no, sir, we haven't met yet.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any
I
other
want to
questions?
say, Mr. Rosenwasser, I just want to say thank you to Ms. Detra for coming to share with us this morning. This is our R.E.A.C.H program. We got some great programs out there right now, and I just want to say that they can reach Ms. Detra by phone at 855-487-3224. That's 855-487-3224. Or they can reach them on their website at housing@reach4housing.org. Housing@reach4housing.org. And so we'll be happy to share this information with any organizations out there or any individuals that are interested or may need help. So thank you so much, Ms. Detra, for coming to join us this morning. And are there any questions or any comments for Ms. Detra? Okay, seeing none, I want to say, Mr. Rosenwasser, thank you so much. I finished my report in all the areas that I needed to cover, and I will turn it back over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Howell. You have turned this into the Ms. Howell AHAB meeting, and I greatly appreciate it, considering Commissioner Overman's not around and not available, and I am in the frozen tundra of Canada, where it's below zero, and access to email and internet is a little bit tough up here. I want to remind everybody to take a look at the very well-prepared Affordable Housing Services newsletter that Ms. Howell's department puts out. There's one in your package for January 22, and it shares some very, very interesting information. Are there any other business items that others would like to bring up to the? Okay, hearing none, I want to remind everybody that March, next month, is a dark month. There is no meeting scheduled. So our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 11th at 9 a.m. And again, you can hopefully attend in person, because we do need 6 people present in person to have a quorum plus the quorum of the total members in order to approve actions of the committee. Hearing no other business, I would call this meeting to close. Thank you all and have a great day.